Hi, everyone. Hope you're enjoying the summer. I am certainly enjoying it. So today I wanted to share with you something personal about the investment I have made just recently. So I have committed to an investment of $85,000 for 1 year of a partnership with Tony Robbins. And yeah, I mean, it is crazy. I hear you. I'm having the same thoughts in my head. But I want to walk you through the process of, first of all, why I did it, and then what happened in my mind and what kind of fear I had to deal with to actually be able to stay with it. So this happened when I was at the event in Fiji. I felt very congruent with this decision. I wasn't sold to. I actually woke up one day and I was really having strong intuition that this is what I'm going to do because I could afford, certain payments, first payments, not the whole amount. I don't have this kind of money laying around, ready to invest. So this is not how it works. You don't invest always when you have all the money and you don't know what to do with the money, right? Like you have to organize the money if you invest at the level of your future self. So what happened, maybe let me back up a little bit. So the vision that I have, that I worked on with my coaches and mentors and throughout my personal growth, is that I create a really massive impact, and I'm going to grow into that massive impact, right? So my vision is, big, like I'll continue to grow myself and I'll continue to support my clients, and I'll just expand. I'll be expanding, right? So I'll go into doing, more group coaching, more speaking events, more retreats. And so far I see certain things, like maybe 3 years from now, I see what I can be doing, but I already know as I've been growing that it will shift. 2 years from now, I'll have a new, bigger vision because I'll see more, and that will allow me to do much more, right? So first of all, I have this compelling vision that I want to work towards, and it's not connected only to what I desire, but to my service, what I want to contribute to the world, how I want to live my life, my extraordinary life. I have been recently talking to one CEO, and, he told me his why is that he wants to live financially free and be able to support new startups and invest as angel investor. Everyone has their own kind of idea. What would it be if you won like $1 billion, and how would you live your life? So you can just live your life like everyone else, or you can be very serious about creating the life that you really want, because it's very possible. I mean, there are people out there, very inspirational people, who are showing us that it's very, very possible if you get your mind straight and you learn the skill set. But mine is like 80, about 80% is the psychology of what you believe and what you believe you can do, versus 20% of the strategy. So the really, really first step is that I have this very big vision. And when I decide anything, I think about my big vision and I connect to it. I feel it, I believe it. And then I go like, okay, what would my future self do? So I'm kind of living from the end. Okay. I'm deciding that this is what my future self would do. I feel it. And this is what happened to me when I was in Fiji. I really strongly felt that my, millionaire self, creating such big impact, would totally invest in it, because I desire to be learning with Tony Robbins, among many other mentors and coaches that I have. I still support myself, get myself the support with other mentors. But I strongly believe that he's the right teacher for me at the time. I absolutely love the community of Platinum Partnership. They are really incredible people. They make big changes in the world. Like one of my new friends creates shift from making 10 million to 90 million, 90, and he's having an orphanage in south of Europe, and he's supporting children. And, you know, so there is always like a service behind it. It's not only about creating money, it's about what will you do with this money. And that's who I am now part of, you know, that kind of community. So it's always, you know, heartfelt, led, mission driven, and so on and so forth. So when I felt very strong that I need to do it, I trusted myself. I trusted that when I'm in a high state, when I'm in a inspired state, that's when I trust myself. Okay, not when I'm in fearful state. So I trusted myself when I was in this inspired state. I was fully, you know, going for it. And then when I got back home, you won't believe what happened. I felt so much contrast happening for me. Contrast is basically kind of universe testing you. You know, my laptop broke, extra cost. You know, just suddenly it turned out I have to pay extra stuff here and there, and I started to feel this like, why, you know, I won't have this money. I'm gonna go bankrupt. This is it. Like I went too far. Like my thoughts were basically really, I'm gonna go bankrupt. I'm gonna be a failure. I will be humiliated. Everyone will see because I'm sharing stuff. So if I suddenly, everyone will see that I am a big fat failure and I don't know what I'm talking about. So all these thoughts were in my head, right? Like I'm not gonna do it. It's not gonna happen for me. And that I went too far. You know, it's not for me. I don't deserve it. It's, you know, it's too much. It's not who I am. Like I'm not there yet. So all of these thoughts, and literally it took about 4 days of that kind of energy. It got a bit better. I was also very, very tired. I was very jet lagged. So, you know, that's what was happening. So everyone, or, you know, most of the people, like I would say 95% of people, what they do when they get hit with the fear, which we call terror barrier, when you go very much out of your comfort zone, terror barrier gets you, okay? It's your own thing, your own fear, your own fearful mechanism, and you get completely overwhelmed by this, okay? And this, I'm sharing this happened to me just this week, okay? And, or rather, you know, last week. But basically, most of the people, and that's the difference between very successful people and not so successful people, that they backtrack, they go back. I had the thought that I should go and tell them I'm not gonna do it. I had the thought that I should resign, that I'll just back out everything. Even though I already invested, I paid the trip going to UK to be live at the event. I paid tickets to go to a business mastery in Florida in August. And I was, I was terrified that I'm, putting this cost out there. And what if I don't, create income? And what if I don't get new clients, for example, right? What if they don't prolong their contracts and things like proper, kind of proper fear, right? So I really want you to hear that most of the people will get back out and they will resign from the concept. And by the way, it happens to people who are my potential clients. We talk, we have a great conversation. They email me and they say they are in, they know the cost, they email me, they confirm. And when I want to continue like getting the next steps, let's set up the meeting and everything, they freeze, they ghost. And then they, after a few days, they reply, they won't do it now, they will do it later. And then later, and then they postpone it, and then they postpone it. And it happens all the time to CEOs as well. So I really want you to understand this process, because people who made it out there, people who you see, think of the person that you see who has made it out there. They have been going through the fear aspect, or they were completely pushing through and not thinking of their body, their health, their love life, anything else, right? And that's not the way I teach. So when you're connected to yourself, you're gonna feel the fear and you'll have to manage the fear. So now what did I do to support myself through this process? First of all, I reminded myself that this is very normal constantly. I was constantly telling to myself, this is normal. I'm fearful. This is it. This is the fear. This is not me. I was telling myself that kind of all the time. I was writing out what's the worst that can happen. How will I survive this? And what's the best that can happen? This is my terror barrier exercise. It's very simple. And you have to write down those thoughts, because otherwise they're in your head and they really grabbing you, they really like taking over, right? This is the sabotage that's hijacking you completely. I did meditate. I went for a walk. I also told myself, Paulina, you're tired, you're jet lagged, take care of yourself. So I went for a long walk. I moved away meetings. I actually canceled one event that I was supposed to attend. I felt I cannot go. This is too much. So I went instead for a big walk. I stayed in the sun. I was drinking, a lot of water and teas, and made some good food. While I was in kind of that fearful state, right? But I was, meditate, putting away. When it came back, okay, just like love myself, tell myself that I'll be fine. I will survive this. It will be fine. And so there are a few things, like kind of self-love, that I will not leave myself. I will not abandon myself. I'll always be here. I will survive, and I will be fine. I will be okay no matter what. Okay. Second thing, what's my faith? If you don't believe in anything, that believe in yourself. If you believe in spirit, which I do, know that I was repeating to myself, I'm being guided. It's meant to be. I'm there for a reason. This is just fear. This is my human fear. I'm meant to do more. I'm meant to do more. So my spirit wants it, no, things like that. So I was repeating that to myself as well. And I was just really reminding myself also that it's temporary. I would listen to anything inspirational that intuitively I was pulled towards, so I listened to like one audiobook about money, and so just like kind of getting back into my flow of things, where when I'm in a great state and I know I have the understanding how the mind works, I kind of get myself to remind myself of it. So one thing is, taming the logician in you, so like the sabotage, and taming that, and kind of almost explaining like with a baby, look, there's so many days in a month. I can do these things. I can take this action. This is what can happen. This is how we will do it, and basically kind of explaining the process, what I'm going to do. And there's so much time, actually. I can, get a client in 5 minutes. It happens. Someone is completely like, wow, they want to work with me, and they will decide like that, because my client CEOs, they decide very quickly, right? So it's very possible. And it's also possible for you and your business that the clients decide very quickly. It's humans, humans that decide. It's not big structured companies. It can happen quickly. So also trusting that magical synchronicity, that if someone's right for you, it will come to you. So that's, and taming, kind of not taming, but taking care of your inner child, because that's the scared part, right? It's like freaking out. What are you doing? Like, this is safe. Don't go out there, right? Don't go out of this comfort zone. So really, like, it can be as simple as putting your hands over your heart and just breathing into it, and just telling yourself, I am okay. I will never leave you. I'm here. We are safe. It's safe for me to grow. It's safe for me to do that. It's all good, right? So this is how I manage myself. And now I think maybe day 5, my jet lag is kind of gone, but I'm doing another crazy event. So I've been a bit tired still. I don't know, maybe you see it in my face, but I really wanted to share that with you, because this is very key. If you want to grow, if you want to make it big, you need to learn how to manage your fear. You cannot just think that you're going to do just the next thing, or maybe sometimes the life puts you in the way that you'll have to handle it. Yeah, and then you handle it, right? Like, life gets you a disease, or life gets you a big thing, and then you'll find a way to handle it. But what I'm trying to tell you is that when you can lead your life, create your life, and the only thing that would stop you is if you don't manage your fear. It's really a fear game. Can you manage your fear? And this is how I now describe it to you. And of course, I know it sounds like I'm a coach. I've been in this for a long time, and I've been growing myself. My personal growth is what allows me to do it. So if you have not started any personal growth, please do. If you'd like to work with me, I'd be honored. Send me a DM and let's see how we can make it happen. But basically know that you'll have to strengthen your core to be able to do that. Probably, if you've never done personal growth, you won't be able to do something like what I described. You'll have to get deeper, and my take is that you need help with that. Like, no books can help you do that. Maybe online courses, but rather, the coach that will kind of see what's going on with you and point out those limiting beliefs and thoughts about yourself that you have, because this is subconsciousness, and if you don't see it, you're not aware of it, there's really no way to kind of get consciously charged over it, right? So this is really what I wanted to share today. I trust that this is helpful. I've been intuitively guided to record this video, even though I have literally no time. I'm starting an event in like a couple of minutes. So yes, absolutely. Write me if you have any questions, and do the work. Really do the work. It's worth it, and it will, everything will happen in the right way for you. But don't get in the way. That's all I'm saying. Don't let your sabotage get in the way, because you can do so much more and achieve so much more, and for everyone else and for yourself as well. So I want to leave you with that, and take care. Bye.